Hello everyone, welcome to Learn ReactJS Frontend Development by CodeChef. In today's lesson, we'll be looking at modals, which are small pop-up windows that appear on top of your application without taking you to a new page. You might have seen them when submitting a form or confirming an action. Even though modals look simple, building them properly is more than just UI. A well-built modal needs correct focus handling, keyboard support, and accessibility so it performs smoothly for all users. So in this lesson, we'll be looking at what modals are and how we can implement them step by step. So let's begin. In this lesson, we are going to understand what modals are and how they work in React. We'll focus not just on how they look, but how they behave, especially in terms of accessibility, keyboard usage, and real-world application behavior. So what is a modal? A modal is a pop-up window that appears on the top of the current screen. It does not take you to a new page. Instead, it temporarily blocks interaction with the background. You usually see modals for confirmations, alerts, forms, or welcome messages. They are commonly also called dialog boxes. So let's look at why modals are not just UI. Even though modals look simple, they are not just a UI feature. When a modal opens, it interrupts the normal flow of the application. If it's not built correctly, users, especially keyboard and screen reader users, can get stuck or confused. That's why accessibility and behavior are just as important as design. The first requirement of a modal is that it should appear only when needed. In React, we usually control this using a boolean state like isOpen. When isOpen is true, the modal is rendered. When it's false, the modal is removed from the DOM. This keeps the UI predictable and easy to manage. Focus management is one of the most important and most ignored parts of modals. When a modal opens, the keyboard focus should move inside the modal. While the modal is open, users should not be able to tab into the background. And when the modal closes, focus should return to where it was before. Handling focus manually is possible, but it's tedious and error prone. That's why libraries like React Focus Lock exist. They automatically move focus into the modal, trap it inside, and restore focus when the modal closes. This saves time and avoids accessibility bugs. Another expected behavior is closing the modal using the escape key. Most users expect this to work automatically. In React, we can listen for keyboard events using useEffect. If the escape key is pressed, we trigger the modal close logic. Most modals also allow closing by clicking outside the modal content. The dimmed area behind the modal is called the backdrop. Clicking the backdrop should close the modal. But clicks inside the modal should not, so we need to stop event propagation. When a modal is open, users should not be able to scroll the background content. This helps keep attention focused on the modal. Libraries like React Remove Scroll make this easy by disabling page scrolling until the modal is closed. Screen readers need semantic information to understand modals. We use ARIA attributes like role equal to dialog and ARIA modal equal to true. We also make sure buttons, especially the close button, have readable text for screen readers. Without this, assistive tools treat the modal like a normal div. Before we dive into the code, let's understand the structure. We have two main files here, modal.jsx, which contains the reusable and accessible modal logic, and app.jsx, which controls when the modal opens and closes. The idea is simple. App.jsx owns the state, and modal.jsx focuses only on behavior and accessibility. Let's start with modal.jsx. This component is responsible for rendering the modal and handling all accessibility related behavior. We are using useEffect to handle the side effects like keyboard events. React Focus Lock helps trap keyboard focus inside the modal. React Remove Scroll disables background scrolling when the modal is open. These libraries save us from writing complex and error-prone logic ourselves. Now this modal over here receives 4 props. IsOpen decides when the modal should be visible. OnClose is a function used to close the modal. Title is used for accessibility and screen readers, while children allows us to pass any custom content into the modal. Now this effect over here handles the escape key. When the modal is open, we listen for key presses on the window. If the user presses escape, we call onClose. The cleanup function ensures the event listener is removed when the modal closes. This prevents memory leaks and unexpected behavior. Now over here, this is conditional rendering. If the modal is not open, we return null, meaning nothing is rendered to the DOM. This is the simplest and cleanest way to show or hide a modal in React. Next over here, clicking the backdrop should close the modal, but clicking inside the modal content should not. So we stop event propagation inside the modal box to prevent accidental closes. Now remove scroll disables background scrolling while the modal is open. The backdrop visually separates the modal from the page and captures outside clicks. Now this line over here is one of the most important lines in the file. Focus lock traps keyboard focus inside the modal. Return focus equal to true ensures that when the modal closes, focus returns to the element that opened it. This makes the modal fully keyboard accessible. Now these ARIA attributes tell screen readers that this is a modal dialog. ARIA modal blocks the interaction with the background. Without these, screen readers would treat this like a regular div. Even though the close button is just an X visually, the ARIA label ensures screen readers know exactly what this button does. Accessibility should never rely on visuals alone. Now over here, using children makes this modal reusable. Any content passed from parent component will appear here. Now moving on to app.jsx. Is modal open? Controls whether the modal is visible. The ref stores the button that opens the modal. Focus restoration is handled automatically by React Focus Lock, but this ref shows how it could be done manually. Now here, these functions simply toggle the modal state. The modal itself does not manage state. That responsibility stays with the parent. Now clicking on this button over here opens the modal. This is also the element that focus returns to when the modal closes. Now here we pass state and handlers into modal. This makes the modal reusable and controlled by the parent. The modal content itself can contain any logic. Here we show a confirmation message and close the modal after the action. Now let's just run this code once. So let me click on open confirmation modal. So you can see in this modal over here, if I click anywhere inside the modal, I will not be exiting the modal. But if I click outside the modal on the page, we exit the modal. So let me try scrolling with the modal. So you can see scrolling is not possible. Now in this example, we are building a FAQ section where users can click on a question to reveal its answer. Instead of managing open and close state ourselves, we'll use Radix UI's accordion primitive, which gives us accessibility and behavior out of the box. Now here we import everything from Radix's accordion package. Radix provides unstyled accessible building blocks, meaning it handles keyboard navigation, ARIA attributes, and state internally. We also import CSS module styles, so we have full control over the accordion looks. Now this FAQ accordion component over here receives an items prop, which is an array of FAQ data. Each item contains an ID, a question, and an answer. Our job is to simply render this data using Radix's structure. Now before rendering the accordion, we check if there's any data. If the list is empty, we show a simple message instead. This prevents rendering an empty accordion and avoids runtime errors. Now accordion.root is the main controller for the accordion. The type equal to single prop means only one item can be opened at a time. Collapsible equal to true allows the currently opened item to be closed. This replaces all manual state logic we had to write in the modal example. Now we loop over the FAQ items and render one accordion item per question. Each item must have a unique key for React and a value for Radix to track its open state. Accordion.item represents a single question answer pair. The value prop is used internally by Radix to identify which item is open. Styling is applied using our own CSS module. The header groups the clickable trigger. Accordion.trigger is the element users interact with. When this trigger is clicked or activated via keyboard, Radix automatically opens or closes the associated content. Accordion.content holds the answer text. Radix automatically controls whether this content is visible or hidden. We don't write any show or hide logic ourselves. Radix adds attributes like data state equal to open or data state equal to closed to these elements. In our CSS, we can use these attributes to animate or style the open and closed states. So instead of React state, CSS reacts directly to DOM state. Finally, we export the component so it can be reused anywhere in the app. Because it's unstyled and data driven, this accordion is easy to customize and reuse. In the model example, we manually handled accessibility and state. With Radix, that complexity is abstracted away. Our responsibility is to compose the correct structure and apply styles. This makes components easier to maintain and less error prone. Now let's look at the key takeaways. Radix manages behavior and accessibility. We manage structure and styling. Together, this gives us clean, scalable UI components. So that's how modals work in React. To really understand this concept, make sure to head over to the CodeChef platform and try out the practice problems yourself. That's where the real learning happens. So that was it for this lesson, and I'll see you in the next one. Thank you.